Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Representative Grawl, and thank you to all the members who are delivering their debate and their personal point of view. I oppose the bill for several reasons. I oppose it because it's an unconstitutional invasion of privacy. I oppose it because it unnecessarily puts pregnant teens at risk, and I oppose it because it's just simply wrong. We already have parental notification in the state of Florida, and I think the reality of what we're doing here is we're just adding more unnecessary burdens to an already burdensome process. There's no valid or compelling state interest in adding these additional barriers to access safe and legal abortion. The reality is that a vast majority of pregnant teens who make an incredibly hard and difficult decision, they are already voluntarily involving their parents in that decision. We know this. Anyone who goes into one of these facilities on a Saturday who has experience on these matters, healthcare providers, volunteers, if you're out of Planned Parenthood on a Saturday, you know these teenagers are coming in with their parents to get an abortion. Those who don't have a really good reason. They have really good reasons. They could be thrown out of their house. They could be put into an even more dangerous and volatile family situation if they tell their parents. They could be the victims of physical abuse. Sure, there's the judicial waiver option for those individuals, but the reality is that that process is already difficult enough. And this is just adding more barriers. I don't think that we need government intrusion to family relationships. I think that the reality is that we need to leave this important medical decision outside of the hands of politicians. We need to keep it with young women, their doctor, their faith, themselves, and whoever their chosen counsel is, whoever their chosen family is, or the members of their family, whoever they choose to counsel them. And I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth, but earlier Representative Placencia was talking about how do we really address this issue. No one in this room wants these difficult decisions to be taking place. I think that we can all agree on that. If that's the case, why do we keep litigating the decision itself? Why aren't we putting in measures in law to prevent unintended pregnancies? Why don't we have comprehensive sex education so that no one in this room, whether they're a parent, whether they're a teenager, whether there's someone else in the process, that no one is in this really, really difficult position. We're just continuing to litigate the decision itself, which the courts have ruled over and over every time this legislature passes a law to litigate this decision. It's declared unconstitutional time and time and time and time again. We can prevent unintended pregnancies. We should be revisiting that issue. 82% of pregnant teenagers find themselves in the 82% of the pregnancies are unintended. We can be helping to educate them to prevent that situation from taking place. And there's a bit of a double standard here. The double standard being that we only trust young women if they make the decision to be prepared to be a parent, and we trust them then. But we don't trust them if they tell us or if they decide that they're not ready to be a parent at this time. Why don't we trust them then? Members, I urge you to vote down on this bill so that we don't interfere with something that's already been litigated in the courts, and that we don't have to spend millions of more dollars in taxpayer money to litigate this issue. Thank you.
Representative Daniels, you're recognized in debate.
Thank you very much.